Hey YouTube, back with another episode of my fantastic Ford Maverick. Um, Wanted to go over what you could actually fit in this bed. So this is an 8-foot piece of 2x4, 8 feet from the back of the cab there, all the way to the end of the actual bed. It comes out, sits out probably about 1.5, 6 inches past the bed. The tape measures it at exactly 6 feet. I know a lot of you guys will probably get 6-foot pieces of lumber rather than 8-foot pieces of lumber. But I did want to go over what an 8-foot piece of lumber looks like hanging out of the back of this bed. If we go back over here and we take a look right now at the actual the bed length at 6 feet, we have a couple inches past that are actually going to hang, that are going to be into the bed for the 6 feet mark. Obviously, when you go 6 feet in the bed, more than likely you're going to try to go diagonal, which in a lot of ways is going to make sense. 6 feet will not fit diagonal. You can see it there. If you put it on an angle and you come up into the corner here, it's kind of going to fit. It doesn't actually fit in the bed, so you can't put it in the bed. You can hang it over the top of the rails, but as you can see by mine, I really don't want to do that because I don't want to ruin them. I don't want to scratch them. But that said, 6 feet is about here on the bed versus the 8-foot. There are tie downs all over this thing. There's tie downs here, which double as, a bottle opener for, tailgating. Then you got tie downs on the sides of the bed. You got one here. You have another one up here. These are the ones that just come standard. There's one there, there's one down there. This one has the bed rails on it for the added functionality of the bed, but honestly, I don't use them, haven't used them. Tie downs on the bed itself, to tie down at the front. Then you have the notches in the bed where you can actually add pieces of 2x4 into these notches. Bed width is a little different. So if we come around to the side of the truck here and we look at the width wise, and we're going from wheel well to wheel well here, we're probably at about, I'll say about 45 inches in the groove. If you wanted to make a 2x4 or a 1x6 probably to fit in that groove, you could then put things on top of it. And then at the end, you could convert the Magic bed so that we could put, 4x8 sheets of plyboard in here. It is wide enough to put a 4x8 sheet of plyboard in on top of the wheel wells. It's not going to fit between the wheel wells. Honestly, I have a board that I built to go in between this notch here and the other side, and what that allows me to do is that allows me to mount the fronts of my bikes on there and then tie them down with the rail ties, the bed ties on the inside of the bed. And that way I can keep my bikes upright and still put them in my car, or in the Maverick here. I do have electric bikes. I do plug them in to the bed when I'm driving, and that gives me the ability to charge them while I'm driving, which is kind of a neat function, kind of a neat idea. The bed does lock. This one obviously doesn't have a tonneau cover on it for reasons that I explained in the previous video. I'm still waiting for that to get here. It does have the Magic bed. Again, if you guys haven't seen this, I would check somebody else's videos because they go over it pretty substantial. But if you really do need to see it, all it really is gives you the ability to go into here, grab this tab, pull the tab away. You're gonna slide this up, and this comes off. And what this will do, this allows you to put it here, and then you could lay the bed at a higher angle, which holds things into it better. Gives it more of an angle, so that way it doesn't slide out of the vehicle. Although, I'll be honest, the texture of the spray and bed liner it's pretty much grip tape, so it probably not gonna slide out anyway. I would still tie it down, obviously, but it's pretty sticky, so it's, at least new, it's not going anywhere. I will say that if you do leave it like this, you are going to scratch the top part of this actual plastic piece that sits here at the top of the bed. I know it's to protect the metal underneath it, so you don't end up with rust that occurs on the tailgate, but if you're a stickler like me where you don't want to scratch the hell out of the little truck, then that's probably not a good place to do it. I know wood's softer and blah, 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 but it'll still scratch it. Another option that you have on these things is you can actually attach, you can attach this cable around the actual prop here, which will give you yet more of an angle to hold this up even higher. And it will stay, and it'll even close with that like that, which is kind of neat. I would obviously do it on both sides, so that way it's stiffer and doesn't bounce around and move around, but you know, you get the idea. That's an option for the bed. The multi-angle tailgate to hold things in certain ways. Honestly, this one's great if you have mountain bikes that you want to mount at the front. You can put the back wheel up against this, and it just doesn't go anywhere. It's awesome. One of the little design flaws that I think Ford missed the boat on here is the backup camera, because when you put the tailgate in any position outside of the normal position, sorry, I was just putting this back in the normal position. If you put the tailgate back in any position outside of the normal position, the backup camera is actually mounted here. So if this tailgate's flat, what you're recording is the back bumper. What you're seeing through the backup camera is the back bumper. Whereas if they put it there, but then they also mounted another one on top here, what you would have had, or even in the actual tailgate itself, when you put it down, you'd still be able to see where you're going when you were backing up if you really needed to see through there. I'll be honest, visibility is not a problem on this. You can look out the back and see it. Everything's there. It's really easy. So that's kind of a nice thing. I'm gonna put this tailgate back down. Oops, sorry. So tailgate's back down. Now, at this height, the thing about this Maverick that's really nice that I don't know if a lot of people out there realize, because a lot of people have trucks, and trucks tend to be difficult to load things in. And really, for just the sheer fact that they're tall, when you have a tall vehicle that you're trying to load things in, you gotta lift it into the back of the truck. So from the ground up, we are at about 29 inches. This is level. This truck is in a garage right now. It's relatively level in here. And at about 29 inches. So that's what you got to lift it into to get into the back of this thing, which is a lot easier than an F-150. F-150 is probably a good foot higher than this at least. When you're lifting heavy objects in the back, lifting them much higher sucks. So I'm pretty surprised and happy and, you know, whatever with this bed. I think this bed works really good. I was really skeptical. It was short. I know in short beds, sometimes you lose a lot of functionality, but I think that this bed is fantastic for the size of this vehicle. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Anybody waiting for one of these things, leave a comment. Anybody who uses it for actual work, would love to hear about it. What's the most amount of weight you've gotten in the back of it? And if you have a hybrid, what's the best MPG you've gotten with that weight in it? Really curious. Guys, drop me a message and subscribe if you want. And next video, I plan on doing Dynamat in the inside of this thing to get rid of the rattling. So that should be entertaining. All right, guys, take it easy.